Good morning, everybody. It's really cold in Arizona. It's 54 degrees, but the wind is blowing and it makes it so much colder. So I got a beanie on right now trying to warm up because I just feel like I can't get warm enough. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good December. I can't believe we're here already, but I'm really excited about it. I put our tree up so early. It's probably like 4 days before Thanksgiving. I think with just the year that has been 2020, I think most everybody just needed Christmas and wanted to feel the vibe that the holidays bring. And whether you celebrate Hanukkah or Christmas, I'm sure you feel the same. So my beautiful tree is up. We bought a new tree this year. It's about 12 feet tall. I've always had like a little baby tree of regular, I guess you could say, about 7.5 feet. And I have vaulted ceilings in my house. So this tree is just so beautiful. I also bought a flocked tree or a white tree, and with the decor of my house, it just fits in so beautifully. So I'm very just excited about it. I have shopped early this year, so I got plenty of fun wrapping to do, and I love wrapping. It was something my mom just instilled in me. She always made every present just look so beautiful, and it's something that I take pride in now. So I have ribbon and bows and little cute tags and bells and all kinds of stuff that I use. So I can't wait to wrap. I'm real excited about it. About halfway through, then I begged for it to be over, but that's okay. So today marks a very important day for me. It is a huge anniversary. I guess you could call it an anniversary because it marks the day that I went into the ER and confirmed that I had melanoma to the brain. A little backstory on it. I was having pounding headaches prior to. They were indescribably painful. But the best way to describe it, which I describe in my journal, is that my brain was running out of room, and it just felt like it was screaming, like it wanted to pop off my head. And that's how I described it to everybody. Of course, at the time, we were so new to what melanoma and cancer was that I don't think I realized the velocity of stage 4. So yeah, it wasn't easy to accept, I guess. So that Thanksgiving, I had a headache that just wouldn't go away. It wasn't even being touched by Tylenol. I had to lay down most of Thanksgiving that year, and we spent it in Vegas typically. It was something we did since I met my husband, and so being there was really hard for me not to enjoy. But I spent just about every day up in the room. But Thanksgiving morning, I forced myself downstairs to enjoy with the family because it's something so special for us. And I miss it because my mother-in-law died of lung cancer about 2-3 years ago. So it's not the same. And I miss her, and I miss it so much. So I'm really glad that I did go down there that year because I just remember it so vividly. And if I wouldn't have done that, I just think I would have been so much more depressed. So I forced myself downstairs and ended up being able to sit through dinner, play with my kids a little, and then as soon as it quieted down, I went upstairs and tried to sleep. And to tell you, that wasn't easy. So the next day we went home, and it was a 4-hour-ish drive home with a 1.5-year-old and a 6.5-year-old. So to tell you that the drive felt so long was an understatement because it was super hard to get through. But I made it, and the following morning, which brings me to today, 2009, December. I'm just gonna read from my journal because I do like to do that. I feel like it is the best way to describe what I've been through. This little baby is falling apart, and I really want to turn it into a book, but I'm just so nervous to write it, even though I pretty much already have. Okay, here we go. The following morning, we called my doctor. He asked me standard medical questions about my headache. Once I answered yes to every single one, he said to me, and I remember this so vividly, "Get to the emergency room now." And I mean now. I always hated those words. The emergency room again. It became my second home. And that wasn't a preference for me or my family. I lived 30 minutes away from it. The Mayo Clinic, so that's what I'm referring to. And my family was 30 minutes away as well. I always hated to ask them to drive all the way out here so I could possibly be seen by a doctor and get answers. I used to go to the ER a lot, and sometimes I would go and get no answers and spend hours there. It is not a quick place. So the ER was never an hour or two trip. No, we're talking 6 to 8 hours long. All day, and the doctor would never allow food. So in case I needed some emergency surgery, I was not allowed to eat. So after 5+ million trips to the ER, Ben and I felt like we were professionals. We knew to dress warm and eat prior to arrival. So the call was made, and the family came to watch my girls while I was trying to figure out where my life stood. We arrived in the morning, told the front desk what my symptoms were, and the doctor's orders were to come ASAP. We sit and wait, and wait, and wait some more. Seeing more employees to make sure we're insured and able to get medical care and all the crap that goes along with the ER. And then we wait some more. We get a room, dress into the ugliest gown you've ever seen. Anyone who's been to any doctor's office knows what I'm talking about. We wait some more. Get my vitals checked. Get some pain meds based upon my pain level of not being, even on the 1 to 10 scale, I felt like I was dying. So imagine what it would feel like if your brain was running out of space. It felt like I was being pounded in the head by a brick over and over and over and over again. My brain really had no room, and I still had no idea why. I felt like I knew, but I needed confirmation. It had been at least 5 hours into this emergency room, and I finally got the news that I was going to get a brain MRI done. I hate those so much. The noise, the sounds. It's scary being trapped in there. I was whisked away on a hospital bed. For some reason, I wasn't able to walk there. I don't know if they just felt like if I slipped and fell that I was going to have a seizure or something. So they had never done that before. So they took me away on the bed. MRIs are very claustrophobic. Your head is put in a trap. You can't move and you can barely breathe sometimes because you work yourself up in a panic. It totals about 30 to 40 minutes. Very loud, vibrating noises pounding in your ears. So imagine the most terrible headache you've ever felt. It's worse than a migraine from what I'm told. On top of that, you're having these noises that are like loud as a train being drilled into your ears, even with earplugs. It's just loud. So it sounds like a freight train running into your ears. Some noises last 30 seconds, others up to 8 minutes long. As I lay there, I think of all the things I want to do in my life. Have I done enough as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter and sister? What will my funeral be like? Who will come? I'm sorry if I cry in this. This might be a little tough for me. What do I do with what's rest of my life? The really ugly thoughts happening when you're put in these horrible machines, when all you have time to do is think. I wish I could turn them off just as quickly as a switch. Wouldn't that be perfect? To end it right here and right now and get the answers I need right now. But I still have halfway left to go. Once I'm done, I'm put back into the bed on wheels and rolled back to the room. My husband is there waiting anxiously. What are his thoughts? What does he feel like? I'm sure there's just as terrifying as mine, or maybe he's positive, as he always tries to be. When I went through these things, it was one thing I demanded of people was to remain positive. I hated to have people go down the road because I was doing it myself, and I didn't need everyone else to just confirm my worst fears. So early on, I kind of told my family, if you can't be positive, then you can't be around me. So my husband was really, really good at it. We both really were the most positive people. The stuff that I'm writing in here is like my personal fears that I didn't rarely share with anyone, not even my husband. I don't know why that was, but it helped me to just write it down and get rid of it and then close the book, and it was almost like they didn't exist to me. So that's why I did a journal all the time. He was always so strong for me, never shows his raw emotions in front of me. That's probably why when he makes a phone call to my family, he leaves the room. How does he be so strong? How can he watch his wife be so fragile when I'm usually the strongest? He has to break the news. He has to be breaking inside with each news, as I am for both of us. We greet each other with a kiss. How'd it go, he says. Well, it went as well as it always does, babe. But now we sit and wait some more. This is the hardest thing to do. As we wait there, we're waiting to know if melanoma has gone to the brain. Really, what the hell does that mean? It gives me a less than 5% chance of survival. I can't have that. I need my family, and my family needs me. My daughters are young. My youngest won't even remember me. That is not happening. It cannot. We try and make small talk about the weird machines in the room, the weird TV, the weird remote. Ben nervously messes with his phone, frantically choosing a song, but changing it every 30 seconds. Going from internet to texting, trying to pass the time. I will never forget that day. I brought my youngest daughter's baby blanket with me. It was pink with brown polka dots on it. It smelled like her soft, sweet baby smell. It laid there across me, but only went to my knees. It wasn't there for warmth, but there to keep me strong, remind me why I needed to fight and who I was fighting for. For the innocent girls who needed their mommy, I cuddled up to it often. It helped keep me calm as it could be. Then the door opened. My heart was pounding in my throat. My stomach was dancing around with fear and anxiety. I felt sick and hot. My blood rushed to my head and I felt so dizzy. My vision was blurry. My head was pounding with pain and fear. He politely introduced himself as the doctor who knew it all. He was very serious. He wasn't the joking type. He meant business. Something my husband and I always did was crack jokes. It helped us, and it helped the mood not feel so insanely scary. So we would crack jokes, and this doctor, this surgeon, I should say, he was not one for our funny little jokes, so he would not even laugh at them. It was kind of a very awkward moment, but this is going to be part 1 because we're already at 15 minutes, so I will do a part 2. I hope you guys like and subscribe below to my melanoma world and my journey and what it's been like for me.